Welcome to our Jawbreaker movie chat from 1999. And I'd never seen this one before, shocker. I seem to be saying that all the time at the moment. But no, I've never seen this one before. Yeah, it was interesting. What a wild film. So I can't wait to chat about it. Let me just add. So just add Jessie in as well. Oh, I hope everyone is doing okay. It's going to be one of them nights when I can't speak. Hi, Josh. Hello.
Hello.
Jessie.
Hello.
Hello. Are you okay?
Yeah, I'm ready to have my jaw broken.
Yeah.
Again. Oh dear. Oh, hang on, I've just done something to my. I think there we go. I'm sorted. I always press something and I just lose everything and it just all
No.
disappears. So I've got it back now. Figured it out. Well, how are you guys? Are you doing okay? And you ready to have your jaw broken, as you said?
Yes.
So
Yes.
ready. Yeah.
Good morning. Good morning. I'm getting well caffeinated for both of you to have this chat this
Oh,
morning.
what time is it there, Jesse? Is it like
10 a.m.
whoa, nice and
Yeah,
early?
I'm
yeah.
getting sleepy. It's my
I know.
bedtime.
Anything for both of you. Anything for a movie chat.
Oh, Jesse. Well,
I love you have
unfortunately,
Rose McGowan behind you, right?
I do. I
oh
have
yeah.
it's a local Portland artist and it's Scream Girls. So it's the Mean Girls and the Scream Girls.
Oh,
So
that's
yeah.
so
Oh,
Yeah.
cool.
good.
Oh, I love that. Oh, that's amazing. I love like seeing like local artists and their work and stuff. It's just amazing, brilliant. So I know Josh has introduced me to a few that I really love and just want to spend a fortune with, to be honest.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, but poor Emma is feeling a little bit poorly,
Oh.
so I hope it doesn't involve a jawbreaker. No, I'm sure it
Yeah.
doesn't. But
Don't try me.
but yeah, she's feeling a little bit poorly, so she's not going to be with us. So it's just us. But feel better soon, Emma. Mwah,
Oh, better
mwah,
soon.
Feel
mwah.
better.
So I've done a couple of introductions. I apologise in advance. So we have the some of the sweetest candies are sour as death. No, let me let me do that again. Some of the sweetest candies are sour as death inside. And with that in mind, we got Josh with us. Only joking, Joshy.
That's
You're
so
sweet as
sour. Yeah.
candy. No. And he's used to strutting his shit down the hallway every day, making sure everything's peachy freaking clean. It's our special guest, Jessie, from Jessie's House of Pulp. I
What an
told you.
introduction. What an introduction.
Famous now, that's it.
Yeah.
Oh dear, I was like, what can I do? I'm just going to have to use some quotes from the film. But if you don't know Jessie runs a brilliant Instagram sharing like Fear Street and all sorts of 90s nostalgic books. And you do like Fear Street Fridays and things like that. So yeah, I always get like loads of book recommendations from Jessie and then it hurts my bank balance.
Yeah.
So but today we're going to be chatting about Jawbreaker from 1999, which is an American black comedy crime film, I'm going to say.
Yeah.
And it's written and directed by Darren, I want to say Stein. And it's starring Rose McGowan, Rebecca Gayheart, Julie Benz, Judy Greer. Oh, so many
Pam
stars.
Grier,
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
Pam Grier.
Hmm.
Oh
Carol
yeah,
Kane.
Carol Kane. Oh,
Yeah.
so
So
many
When I
great
many.
told
people.
when I told Tom the cast list for this, his head nearly exploded. He was just like, "What?
So
What?
good,
Yeah.
What? What?"
yeah.
Yeah. Hmm.
Just like as you list them, you can just hear someone going
Yeah,
as
exactly.
you go.
Yeah. It's a jawbreaker, is that?
Oh.
Oh.
Oh dear. So the film obviously follows the flawless four, as they call themselves, the most popular girls at Reagan High School, who cover up a murder of their fellow member Elizabeth Liz Purr after a kidnapping prank involving a jawbreaker goes awry on her 17th birthday. And then we also have the story of Fern Mayo, who encounters the trio staging the crime scene with the body. And basically they blackmail her into joining part of their gang, and it causes like one of the gang to like question their place within the clique. And apparently during the entire film a circular theme is visible to a callback to the Jawbreaker, which I thought was kind of cool. So like from the girls' earrings being the big hoops for the majority of the film, and the light fixtures and some of the patterns and wall fixtures, just to kind of give that circular Jawbreaker feel. So just a quick question. Have you ever had a Jawbreaker? Not in a rude way, Josh. I was going to say, have you ever licked a Jawbreaker? But then I just changed it and I was like, no.
We could get really naughty right now.
But have you ever, like that Jawbreaker that they use is massive. I don't think I've ever had such a big one in all my life.
Yeah, lethal.
Yeah, I remember.
Do we call them eternal gobstoppers?
Yeah,
is that Roald Dahl?
Gobstoppers, I think, in the UK, right?
Gobstopper.
But so I remember in the 90s, I'm sure maybe late 80s, 90s, there used to be these ones over here in the UK which were like fireball gobstoppers.
Yeah.
And me and my brother were obsessed with
cinnamon.
them. Yeah, they were like a cinnamon and it like spicy on your tongue. But they were only little. Like nothing like them big gobstoppers.
I remember the ones where they were like really tough on the outside, and then after like hours, they suddenly became chewing gum.
Yeah, that's
like you crunched. There was suddenly a crunch, and it was chewing gum. So you got like two different experiences out of one sweet.
I just remember them fireball ones. Like me and my brother were obsessed. No wonder we was always hyper all the time. How about you, Jessie? Have you ever had one of the big...
I remember them from the candy store and maybe getting them as a present, like as a novelty. Yeah. But it was usually the smaller ones. There were smaller Jawbreakers, there were the fireballs, and then we used to have the Willy Wonka brand. So there was candy over here that was called Gobstoppers. And it was like a Willy Wonka brand of candy. I'm not sure if you have that over there, but it was smaller candies, but just under that branding. But I remember the big obscene Jawbreakers from the candy shops, and maybe you would get those as a present, but I don't think I ever ate them. No, that's too much.
Feel like
that's too much.
That just seems like something that's going to roll under the couch.
Yeah, it's offensive.
Yeah.
Too much licking for my liking.
Watch yourself.
A
little fiery this morning over here.
With a bit of Chianti. Sharon said already R-rated at 6:07 p.m.
As it should be.
Yeah, that's it. Oh, Matthew. I'm innocent. Matthew said atomic fireballs. We still have them here. I remember the giant Jawbreakers, but think they were taken off the market because they were choking hazards, believe it or not. Oh, wow. Lena said what a bonkers watch this was. Yeah, we'll get into that definitely. I'll just scroll back a little bit. Matthew says, I'm getting my caffeine fix too, 1 p.m. here in Virginia. Sharon has a cuppa. Oh, nice.
Very nice.
All the hot beverages. Matthew said, I just thank God I never had to get myself up in one of those dresses they wore. They look like torture devices. How do you breathe? So true. And Sharon said, how crazy was this film? I roared laughing. Oh, I can't wait to get into it. So was Jawbreaker a first time watch for you? Have you seen it before, Josh?
I've seen it before. I first watched it, I think it's one that I rented from the video store when I was sort of like 17, 18 maybe. Yeah. And I loved the cast, I loved the idea, and then I just kind of didn't really go back to it because I kind of feel similarly watching it this time. but which we'll get into it. But yeah, it's not one that I have really sort of taken into my store of cult classic favorites. It's kind of one that I've seen a little bit over the
Yeah.
years, but it's not one that's become a firm favorite.
Okay.
Yeah.
And how about you, Jesse? You've seen it before, right?
Yeah, I've seen it
Yeah.
several times. We watched it again last night, but that was my first time in a while watching the film. So I'm
Yeah.
very excited to talk about this with you and unpack the craziness. It was,
So wild.
yeah, it came out in 99, I think very briefly in theaters. I don't think it was in theaters very long here in the States. And so that would have been senior year of high school, but I don't think I watched this until renting it on VHS in college
Yeah.
or something, and I've seen it many times, but again, it's been a while, so I'm excited.
Yeah.
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 Yeah, well, I'd never seen it before. Obviously, I'd seen it around and I've seen people talking about it. And there's certain scenes that obviously I've seen, I don't know, while I've been on YouTube
Hmm.
or whatnot. So I've not actually seen it before. And I do vaguely remember seeing it like in the video shop maybe back in the day, but it never really, for some reason, grabbed my
I
attention.
don't know. I don't know that it really got a big release over here either,
No,
because
I just vaguely remember the cover
Hmm.
of it.
yeah, I think
Um,
it was funded by Columbia TriStar's home entertainment division. So it had
yeah.
like a tiny budget compared to all the other teen films that came out that year.
Hmm.
And
Mm,
I read that they basically, Columbia TriStar had this film and they had Can't Hardly Wait, which was the Jennifer Love Hewitt
Hmm.
oh
party,
Yes.
all
yeah.
set over one night, that teen film. And they were
Mm,
trying to decide which film to back the most on release, and they chose Can't Hardly Wait. So Jawbreaker
Hmm.
kind of got a bit of a raw deal when it went to
ah,
theatres. Yeah, so it kind of didn't really
interesting.
get much exposure, I don't think.
Yeah, yeah, definitely. I just don't remember it around that time that much because,
Yeah,
like, that would have been the year the Mummy came out and all that, right?
yeah.
Hmm.
1999. So
1999 was a
definitely,
crazy
it is.
year.
Yeah, it
Yeah.
was a good year
Yeah.
for
There were
films.
so many teen
Definitely.
films. There was like 10 Things I Hate About You, For All
Hmm. Yes.
Intentions,
Yes.
Oh
Was it Romeo
yeah.
and Michelle? No, Drop Dead Gorgeous, American Pie.
Yeah.
So
Hmm.
many good,
Oh,
such a
it's
good year.
crazy.
So no wonder really that this kind of got buried really a
Yeah, it
little bit
did.
Yeah,
Yeah.
amongst all
Yeah.
them films that were released.
yeah.
Yeah,
It was like
definitely.
more than one a month. It was crazy, crazy
Mm.
time.
Hmm.
Crazy
Hmm.
time to be
Yeah.
alive.
Yeah.
Darren said that she'd never seen it before, and then she's put, then I was 30 years old in 1999. Matthew said, I saw Jawbreaker back in the 90s on VHS when I rented it. I hadn't seen it in years, and so I bought it again for Peach's Christ podcast last year.
Hmm. Hmm.
Mm.
And then Matthew said, after I saw Doom Generation in 1995, I made a point to see anything with Rose McGowan in it. I adored her then, and I still do. I mean,
Yeah.
yeah, Queen.
Hmm.
Love
Yeah.
Rose McGowan. Love her. Obviously, Charmed, and later down the
Yeah.
line, and Scream, and oh, so good.
There's a really, really good podcast interview with her that came out, I think, last month.
Oh
I've
yes,
completely forgotten. Is it called We Need to Talk About or something
yeah,
like
it's
that?
so good.
It's such a great interview.
It really is, and she's so open and
Yeah.
like quite raw with what she's saying as
Yeah.
well, and
Yes.
just
Yeah.
totally honest. And
She's
Hmm.
been through it,
yeah,
She
she
has. She
has.
really
mm.
has. Yeah.
Yeah,
Which makes it
yeah,
even more amazing that she pulled out performances like this film. I think
mm,
that she was
Hmm.
just like a force of nature.
yeah,
Hmm.
Yeah.
definitely. And especially as well, I know we'll get into it, and I'm jumping ahead a bit, but especially with some of the subject matter in this film as well, especially
Mm.
knowing now what she'd gone through before filming
Absolutely.
this.
Yes.
Like
Yes.
that kind of, when I was watching this, I was kind of like, oh, that must have been tough on the old brain, let alone anything else. So
Mm.
yeah, definitely. But yeah, Queen Rose, we love her.
Rosa. She goes by Rosa, doesn't she?
Yeah, Rosa.
Mm.
Yeah. So apparently, writer and director Darren Stein originally intended to write a horror film, but obviously when he was writing the script and it kind of changed, and he based it on this group of girls that he knew, or from school, who would kidnap each other on their birthdays. I wish someone would do that. No, I don't.
Oh, all right, right. We're going to do this, Jenny.
Take me. And he kind of thought, wow, what happens if this went horribly wrong? I mean, and rightly so. So obviously in the process of writing, he eventually realised this was a dark comedy that he was writing. So do you think this would have worked as a horror film, or is it perfectly better as a dark comedy, Jesse?
I prefer it as a dark comedy. I could see it being, I guess the outline or the premise could easily be a horror movie, but
Mm,
it's so off the wall and so all over the place, and it works really well as a dark comedy. I don't know if
mm,
it's something that they could make today or get away with today, but yeah,
yeah.
I have a twisted sense of humor, so I enjoy kind of them leaning into the camp and the humor.
Yeah, I agree on that. How about you, Josh?
Yeah. Yeah, I think black comedy suits the idea because the idea is really darkly funny. Like you
Hmm.
kidnap your best friend and they die in the process, and then you try to cover it up. Like that's such a great,
Mm,
darkly humorous idea. And I can't really imagine how they would have continued with that as a horror story because
Right.
surely you would have to have like more deaths and more like
yeah.
paranoia and yeah, it does. I don't know that the idea really lends itself to a straight horror film, to be
Mm.
honest.
And do you find that, Josh, when you're writing, like sometimes I mean, just generally, you've got an idea where you want it to go, but then the writing just deems itself to go in like another direction. Do you ever find that?
Yeah, sometimes
Yeah.
because I think often when you're in the planning stage of a story, you're just throwing so much spaghetti at the wall and seeing what sticks. It's almost like
Mm,
no holds barred, anything goes, just see what you come up with. And I think
yeah.
you can come up with ideas where you kind of question, is that the same genre or is that something too outlandish or too much into, too dark or too silly or too campy?
Yeah.
So yeah, I definitely think that's part of the process of creating the
Mm,
story. Yeah.
yeah.
So
Ah,
yeah, I'd like to know
interesting.
what ideas Darren Stein had that might have been more horror that he
Yeah.
Yeah.
then kind of
Yeah.
vetoed.
Yeah. Yeah. It would be interesting to know, definitely.
Yeah,
And again, is it Darren Steen? Am I saying it wrong? So
I have
Darren
no
Steen.
Yeah, I think Stein. Oh, yeah.
We
idea.
just called him Daz. Yeah, he's our
Yeah.
Daz now. So apparently he intentionally cast older actresses as the high school leads in homage to films like Grease and Carrie, which seem to use actresses who were clearly in
Yes.
their mid-20s.
Mhm.
So what did you think of the casting? Obviously we mentioned it at the start, but do you think it worked better with the older actresses playing the parts? Josh?
I think that it helps that you don't really see them with their parents that much. Because
Yeah.
the only moment when I was like, oh shit, Julie Benz actually isn't a teenager was when she was having dinner with her dad and they kind of looked like a couple.
Yeah.
Yeah. And that was Kaniki out of
It
Greece,
was
right?
Kaneki. Yeah,
Yeah.
there were
Oh, no way.
so many nods. Yeah, we'll
Yeah.
talk about that later.
Yeah.
Yeah. I
I
thought
think
so. I thought,
Yeah, I
sorry,
think it
Josh.
worked. I think it
Yeah.
worked with them being a little bit older. We're so accustomed to seeing older actors playing younger characters that it kind of didn't really register that much with me.
No.
And because
Yeah.
I'm older than them all now anyway, they look so
Right.
young to me. So it just, it doesn't register.
Yeah, no, that's true. But how about you, Jesse? Did you like them playing like a younger version of how old they probably were, like in their 20s, I guess?
Oh, absolutely. And, growing up on all the 90s television, especially like Beverly Hills 90210, where all of those actors were
Yeah.
30 playing, teenagers, it was just kind of par for the course, but also adds to the humor, I think,
Mm,
and also they're all so perfect and beautiful, and you're not going to get that if you cast, you know,
yeah.
No.
appropriate age
Yeah.
teenagers, right?
That's so
Acme and
true. That's
yeah.
Yeah.
so true. And I'm
I
always
did I did
mesmerised
sorry.
by, sorry, Josh, I'm always mesmerised by Rebecca Gayheart's eyes as
Oh
well.
my
Just
God.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
amazing.
Her
Yeah.
face. Yeah.
What was you going to say, Josh?
The thing that really did make me go, huh, was that we have two Buffy alum in this film. We've got
Hmm.
Julie Benz and we've got the guy who plays Dane.
Hmm.
Um,
Oh, yeah.
he was
Yeah.
like
Yeah, of
he was the
course.
jock in season 3, I think. He gets taught
Yeah.
by Willow. And I was like, God, this is like after he was in Buffy, and he's still playing a high schooler.
Oh
And
yeah.
he definitely looked like he was, yeah, he was scratching the
Yeah.
underbelly of 30 for sure.
You've
There were-
got so much. You've got Buffy, you've got Charmed. Rebecca Gayheart had an iconic role on 90210 very briefly. I mean, Tatiana
yeah.
Ali
Yes,
from Fresh Prince
Yeah.
and from all the
yeah,
made-for-TV movies. And then blink and you miss her, but at the very end of the film, it's Laurie Foreman from that 70s show, who
yes.
sadly is no longer with us. But it really
Oh
was
yeah.
just like a really like a who's who, especially just some of the background actors that were maybe only
Mm,
in the film for a few
Yeah.
minutes. Yeah.
yeah. Like even the mum and dad, so I think it's Lizzie's mum and dad. It was
Hmm.
PJ
oh
Souls.
PJ
And well,
Souls,
yeah,
yeah.
and William Catt from both from Carrie. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. And I was like, oh, that's so good that they've put like these older actors that you just kind of you would recognise and like straight away I got Kaniki. I was like, oh
Yeah.
and I knew they were gonna get him to sing as well. But
Still
yeah,
got it.
I think it worked quite well with the actors and actresses playing the parts. But I just think they each played their own part so well that yeah, as you said, Josh, you just don't notice it. It doesn't register that they're meant to be playing someone younger.
And
I kind
because,
of like
and
that.
I think because the style and the fashion is so outrageous and so catwalk, it just gives
Mm,
that this sort of sense of otherworldliness that means you know you're not dealing with actual reality here.
yeah, that's
There's this
so
heightened
true.
level of reality where it's like they could be teenagers, they could not be teenagers, but they're at high school,
Mm,
so okay.
yeah, that's so true. And apparently, so the film was greenlit under the condition that one of these three named actresses was cast. So it was either Rose McGowan, Kate Winslet, or Natalie Portman. So that it was greenlit
Right.
on the basis that one of those three would get, I'm presuming, the main role. How do you think that would have been with Kate Winslet or Natalie Portman? I just can't imagine it. Can
Yeah.
you?
No.
Like
Mm-mm.
crazy.
Yeah. I
But
feel like because Rose McGowan had that like indie film
mm,
cred, she was really edgy. She wasn't of Hollywood. She hadn't grown up in Hollywood. We know she grew up in Italy, I think it was.
mm,
Like she was like this kind of sort of alien that just arrived in LA, and
yeah.
um, and yeah, she had this total sort of razor edge to her that was like a bit
Mm,
dangerous and like, oh, who is she? Like, what's she going to do? And that totally imbues this character in a way that, theatre bred Kate Winslet or like child actor Natalie Portman, they're both so safe that you
yeah.
just wouldn't get that sort of like, oh, what they're going to do feeling that you get from Rose McGowan playing her.
Yeah.
She
Totally.
brings like punk to it. She brings like
Yeah.
She
punk
does.
rock to it
Yeah.
and like
Hmm.
crazy glamour. Whereas I
Yeah.
just don't think they're like on a different planet to Rose McGowan.
Yeah. Well, apparently, originally Rachel Lee, I think it's Rachel Lee Cook, was originally
Hmm.
cast as Julie, so Rebecca Gayheart's character. But on testing with the other actresses, it didn't quite work. And I can't even imagine her playing instead of Rebecca Gayheart, to be honest. Like,
No.
'cause she was in She's All That, right?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Hmm.
Yeah. So even like you just think of that film, and like, I just couldn't imagine it. I couldn't picture
no.
it at all.
Well,
Definitely
because the
not.
thing with Rebecca Gayheart is in this film, she's sort of like she becomes quite soft and likable and nice
Mm,
and like good and virtuous, but she still has that sort of like quite fierce beauty to her,
Hmm.
yeah.
where you
Yeah.
can believe that for a moment she did rule the school.
Mm,
But you wouldn't necessarily have believed that with Rachel Lee Cook.
yeah.
Yeah.
No,
I guess she would
definitely
have
not.
played Liz more than anybody else,
Yeah, that would have
but the
been
one
quite
everyone liked.
interesting. Yeah.
Hmm.
And it's interesting as well what you're saying about Rose McGowan being kind of, that indie, quite edgy actress, because in that interview you mentioned in the podcast, she mentions about when she, went for the audition for Charmed and how she basically just changed her image because no one
Right.
wanted this like grungy, different type of actress. They just wanted, she gave them
Soft.
basically this softness, what
Hmm.
they wanted in Hollywood,
Yeah.
which is good in one respect because we got some brilliant charmed episodes from that, but sad that she had to do that in a way just to get that role.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm often when I'm watching films like this, there is like, so Rebecca Gayheart, Rose McGowan, even Julie Benz to a degree, you just feel like you really wish they'd actually done more work because their CVs are so short for
Yeah.
various reasons that I think are very public. It just seems like such a shame because they're genuinely talented and have such presence that
Yeah.
you wish they'd had more opportunities to show that and do their thing, you know.
Yeah,
Yeah.
totally. Totally agree. Well said, Josh. Well
Yeah.
said. So Milena said that that interview that we was talking about, the podcast, was so powerful with Rose McGowan. Matthew said, I love the film. Oh, sorry. I love it as a kid sister to the 80s classic Heathers.
Oh, yeah.
These two films go hand in hand and make a lovely double feature. Yeah, definitely. They're both delicious black comedies, Matthew said. Sharon said it's the perfect black comedy. It's played completely straight, even though it's ridiculous. Yeah, because they just play it so
Yeah.
serious, like straight down the line, don't they? Love it. Matthew said, speaking of parents, PJ Souls, like we said, made a cameo. I adore PJ Souls, and she also played a teen as a 20-something in Halloween 1978.
She
Yeah,
Yeah.
did,
Yeah.
so
yeah.
good. So good. Sharon said half the fun was spotting the bit players. Yeah, I
Yeah.
do agree
Oh,
on
yeah.
that. And Sharon said Rose feels like such a loose cannon. You're never sure what she'll do. Yeah, that's so good.
Yeah.
But I kind of like that. I like that about
Yeah.
her. So apparently the metallic hairbands at the end, I know I'm jumping to the end a little bit,
So
that Rose
cool.
McGowan had in the prom scene was a result of kind of an off-screen competition. So apparently Rebecca Gayheart walked out of her hair and makeup trailer with her hair done up with flowers, which evoked this kind of competitive side to Rose, who quickly went back in the trailer and demanded that she have a more interesting hairstyle. And this seems so fitting to their characters.
Yeah.
So, who was your favourite character? It doesn't necessarily have to
Oh.
be out of the Flawless Four, but who was your favourite character in Jawbreaker?
Oh.
Jesse?
I have to go with Violet first and
Oh,
foremost. I think
Violet.
the Judy Greer's performance is just incredible, just from
Mm,
start to finish. First as Fern as and then as Violet, and just kind of the from start to finish full circle. But also Rose McGowan. I mean, there no
mm,
I don't think anybody else could have done this besides Rose McGowan. I can't
mm,
see any other actress doing kind of this dark twist with Courtney. I mean, just
mm.
perfect, brilliant casting and just really brought that edge. But Judy Greer, hands down.
So good. Honestly,
Yeah.
that transformation,
Yeah.
It was so
amazing.
ridiculous. Just the most absurd moment. Probably my most favorite moment in the film, too. Just this very
Mm,
bizarre Tim Burton Beetlejuice Bride of Frankenstein transformation.
Yeah.
Yeah, just kind of singles
Mm.
itself out from the rest of the film. Yeah.
yeah, and I kind of love with Violet how the more like she gets into the role, like the hair gets more blonder and more wild, and the clothes get more outrageous, and
Yeah.
oh, she plays it so brilliantly. Like, she made me laugh quite a lot.
I
How
love
about
that
you, Josh?
transformation scene as well because it sets itself apart so effectively from other
Yes.
films that do the
Hmm.
exact same
Mm,
thing. You're
Yes.
expecting her to like sit in the hair salon and get her hair done and get
yeah,
the close-ups of her nails and kind of powdered cheeks, but it's like a Frankenstein's monster,
Yeah, it
kind
is.
of Rocky Horror
Yeah.
Picture Show
Hmm.
kind of thing that they do, which is
100%.
just so clever.
yeah, so good. So, did
Yeah.
you have a favourite character,
I love
Josh?
Courtney.
Yeah.
Yeah, Rose McGowan. She's just so compelling. You just every time she's on screen, there can be other characters, but you're just drawn to her immediately, and you're
Yeah,
just like, what's she gonna say? What's she gonna do? Just what's she gonna wear? You
yeah,
know, she's just
no,
brilliant. She's such a
definitely.
great character, and I don't feel like the film fully does her justice. I think that
Mm,
there's definitely a point where the film kind of runs out of things to do with her and doesn't really know what she's doing anymore or why she's doing anything,
Mm.
and like what the truth is as well. You know, I kind of felt like I wanted to see it be revealed that she actually wanted to kill Liz. You know,
Yes,
I
I
Mhm.
wanted that.
agree.
Yeah,
Yeah.
like actually go for it and say, no, she is a sociopath or even a
Mm.
psychopath. And she does want to be Queen Bee. And so she's usurped her main competition.
Mm.
And that
Yeah.
didn't, that's my headcanon. It didn't happen in the film. But
No, I totally agree with that, Josh, because when
yeah,
I was watching it, I was like, oh, I wonder if she's done it, done it on purpose to get rid of competition. And then is she going to
yeah,
start bumping off the others? Is what I was
Mhm.
exactly.
thinking in my head. But obviously it
Yeah,
just didn't go there. Um,
yeah. My
which, yeah.
main problem with the film is I feel like it kind of just starts to run in circles for the second half.
Mhm.
And I
Mm,
felt like they could have done something really interesting. Like I felt like Courtney would have immediately pointed the finger at Julie,
Mhm.
mm,
Rebecca Gayheart, and like
yeah.
steered the cops in that direction, and then you would have had that friction. And
Yeah.
then I felt like I wanted the. Everyone said that they loved Liz so much, the dead girl. I really
Mm,
wanted the Courtney's attempts to become Queen Bee to sort of be usurped, like constantly thrown into question by, I wanted there to be like big murals of Liz everywhere and Liz to
yeah.
become this sort of like, um, what's the word? Like a martyr. Like she's become
Yeah.
bigger than the school, bigger than everyone.
And then
And I
that just
wanted
flips
her to be
Courtney.
named, yeah, I wanted her
Mm,
to be
Mhm.
named prom queen so that
yes.
Courtney is constantly just like, oh, why won't you just let me be the best kind of thing? Like she gets
Yeah.
crazier and
Yeah.
crazier.
And then that just flips her even more over the edge than
Exactly.
anything.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree. That's where I thought it was going to go. I'll be
Yeah.
honest with you, having
Yeah.
not seen it. But yeah, I totally agree with that. I think we'll have to just do a sequel,
Let's
Josh,
do a
to be
reboot.
honest.
Yeah.
But I totally agree. I think Courtney for me was just she's just phenomenal. Um, just but it's how Rose McGowan plays it
Right.
definitely, and like you, Jesse, Violet, just hands down. I just loved how, like I said, how wild she got as it meant more and more to her head. And apparently that scene in the bathroom between her and Courtney, where Violet like blows the cigarette smoke in Rose McGowan's face. Apparently that was improvised, or she was
Yeah.
instructed to do it by Daz.
Mhm.
But no one told Rose McGowan. So Rose McGowan's reaction is actually, when she gets the
Yeah.
cigarette and throws it on the floor, is actually real. And I was like,
Mhm.
oh, I like
Yeah.
That's
it.
amazing.
Yeah.
So good. But I see.
Yeah.
I saw that Matthew said Violet chewed that movie up. Rose is my
Yes.
favourite, but once Violet got both feet on the ground, she's off and running, definitely.
Yeah.
Shaman said Violet, hands down. Matthew said the scene with her on the car hood with all the kids around us. This is Violet. She was like Lulu from the John Waters film Polyester,
Mhm.
over the
Oh
over the
yeah.
top,
Mhm.
fabulous.
Yeah.
Sharon said the clothes were a character by themselves,
Yes.
definitely.
Yes.
And
Mhm.
Sharon said, I think that she did it on purpose, as in Courtney did it on purpose.
Yeah,
That's
she did.
interesting. What do you think, Jesse? Do you get that vibe, or were you just
I
like, just
it's
accident?
so hard to nail down if she really did it on purpose or not, but if
Mm,
she did and she started bumping off the other girls, I think that's where it would have been a horror film instead of a
Right.
dark comedy.
yeah.
I think if what we were talking about earlier, if it had gone in that direction, it would have definitely been more of a horror
Mm,
film. But she's sick and twisted and she's a sociopath, so it's
mm,
very possible, but regardless, it was very violent, right?
yeah.
It was just
Yeah.
very violent and aggressive. So there's something
Yeah.
there. Absolutely. I also read that there was a lot of cattiness behind the scenes. So I think that
Ah.
really translates to the performances and the interactions of the actresses,
Mm,
what we actually get on film. I think there was a lot of
Mm.
background drama and a lot of cattiness
mm,
between some of the leads. And Tatiana Ali said in an interview that she was being bullied by one of the actresses,
Oh.
and Rose McGowan stood up for her. So I think, and then also what you were talking about with the hair pieces at the end, and
Mm,
there was a competition between some of those leads, and you really see it
Yeah.
translate
yeah.
in their performances. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh.
Rose McGowan said in an interview that when she met Judy Greer, she was more like Violet than she was like Fern.
Yeah. hmm
And Darren Stein was like, "What? And tried to cover her tracks for her, and she was like, "Yeah, she was."
Oh dear. But obviously, the distinctive costumes, apparently they were designed by Vicky Barrett,
hmm
who drew on like 80s styles and like 1950s era fashion.
hmm
And obviously this was blended with like lycra and, all that 90s kind of stuff and the bright candy colours. Kind of to invoke that Jawbreaker feel, I guess, the
Yeah.
colours of the
hmm
Jawbreaker. So what did you think of all the fashion and the bold colouring? Was it just fitting for like the late 90s, or do you think it was like it's a timeless look? What do you think, Jesse?
So, I do know that she was the assistant costume designer on Clueless and Romeo and Michelle's
Oh,
high school reunion.
oh,
And so
makes
you see
sense.
that she was also the costume designer for the Clueless TV show. So that is like
Oh.
it's very apparent. And I went to high school in the 90s. And in the 90s, it was very 70s, very 70s inspired.
Hmm.
So
Yeah.
there's a lot of that kind of like kind of that 70s sensibility sort of mixed with like that bright 90s palette, but it's
Yeah.
perfect. It's absolutely perfect.
Hmm.
I love I mean, the outfits are characters in themselves for sure.
Yeah.
Mm.
Oh, 100%.
Yeah.
Definitely. How about you, Josh? Did you like the fashion choices?
Yeah, I loved it. I did read an interview with Darren Stein who said, um, we basically said, what would girls not wear to high
Right.
school? Like, what would be intimidating and fashion forward and larger than life? And he said that nobody carries backpacks, they only carry vintage purses because it's like high school, but like not high school kind of thing.
Yeah,
Um,
with the little purses that
Purse.
have just got like
yeah.
everything in that you could possibly need. So cool.
For me, it kind of felt quite 60s, like it felt like
Yes.
lava lamp kind of style,
hmm
you know?
Yeah,
Yeah.
definitely. But visually, like so striking on the screen, like it just stands out completely, doesn't it? Just
Yeah. It's not
brilliant.
boring, that's for sure.
No,
No,
definitely
no.
not. I just saw Milena said the peril of Rose's corset. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
I know. A couple of times I thought, oh, bet there's a few accidents in that
hmm
corset. I saw Matthew said yes. Those clothes that I hurt in bright colours. It made them all kind of look like candy. Yeah,
Totally.
definitely. Oh, and Milena says I think it was on purpose with Courtney as well. She's just so composed. Milena said
Mm.
definitely. And Matthew said, I want to know about the cattiness behind the scenes. That always makes it more fabulous. So
hmm
true. So apparently this is one of Rose McGowan's favourite performances of her own, I read. So she regards the character of Courtney Shane as one of her personal favourites. And I noticed that it must have been a film critic said 20 years after the film's release, Courtney Shane continues to enjoy hero status among a generation for whom Jawbreaker was a preliminary introduction to the mean girl archetype.
hmm
Yeah.
And then obviously goes on to suggest that maybe Courtney Shane is a villain even that seemingly is designed for social media age. So do you agree? Does Courtney Shane still hold up as an iconic character in this day and age compared to the 90s, Josh?
Yeah, totally. I think so. And I was just
Mm.
thinking, as I was watching the film, I was trying to imagine what like a modern version of this kind of story would look like. You know, we've all, as you
Mm.
said, we've always had stories about mean girls. And I feel like the ones, if there were phones involved, I just think it makes it so much less interesting. Like,
Mm.
I love the fact that in this film, they foil the villain by using an open up birthday card
Do you
device.
remember those? I remember
Yes,
Yes,
those.
yes,
yes.
So
It's also
cool.
like low tech, and
right.
they're really hands on. They have to drag the body, and it's not. There's no real use of technology, which makes it feel timeless, but
Hmm.
Yeah.
also
Hmm.
more urgent in a lot of ways. Where I feel like social media and technology just it removes a lot of
Mm.
tension and personality, I think, to storytelling.
Yeah, yeah, definitely. How about you, Jesse?
Yeah,
Do you think she's iconic in this day and age as well?
oh, absolutely. And to what Josh was saying, it's very analog. Even
Mm,
in the same way that Mean Girls is analog,
Right.
you don't have the social media, you don't really have cell phones for the most part, or they're just on the
mm,
phone or talking on landlines. But yeah, iconic performance. And I think
yeah.
this is one of those films that has kind of aged better just in terms of its cult status and, finding its own kind of niche and popularity because
Mm,
it wasn't well received. And I mean, we can talk about whether or not it's a good movie, but I think it's just really reached that cult status. And again, with certain audiences, certain age groups, especially with the queer community and with gay men in
mm,
general, just the Rose McGowan fandom and how we've kind of come back and championed her now as an
yeah.
actress and what she's kind of gone through. But again, I mean, it's this and it's Tatum from Scream, right? I mean, I think
Mm,
these are like the two top tier performances for her from that time
yeah.
period.
Yeah,
Mm.
definitely. So, why do you think the film was panned then back in the day? What do you think? Because we're mentioning we're not sure if it's necessarily a good film,
Right.
but what made it get panned, do you think? Because it was panned, really. What do you think, Jesse?
I think it's really all over the place. It's just kind
Mm,
of it's an uneven film. Um, it's shticky and campy, and it was at the time, and I don't know if audiences necessarily appreciated that, especially when you hold it up against 10 Things I Hate About You and American Pie and
yeah.
and even Can't Hardly Wait to some extent.
Mm,
Uh, it's there are so many different choices, and the thing that I noticed last night rewatching it were the weird sound effects and the
Yeah.
weird
yeah.
swipes,
Yeah.
and just it's just kind of all over the place, and it's dark but also not. And
Mm,
I don't think I think it's one of those films that people appreciate now even
mm,
more 25 years later, but at the time it was just kind of all over the place and just
yeah.
kind of went
Mm.
under the radar.
Yeah, and as we mentioned, 1999 was a good year for film, so a tough year
Yeah.
for some other films, definitely. How about you, Josh? Why do
Yeah.
you think it was maybe panned back in the day? And do you think it's a good film or?
I think that a lot of people seem to think that it was too cruel, like it had a cruel
Mm,
meanness to it that was sort of quite difficult to sit with. They felt it
yeah.
was quite nihilistic and like
Hmm.
hopeless, kind of. I mean, we have kind of a happy ending, but there's still a dead girl,
Hmm.
Mm,
and there's horrible people, still
Yeah.
around.
yeah.
So I think it doesn't have that same upbeat, everything's going to be okay thing that a lot of the teen films had in that year.
Mm,
Yeah.
And yeah, I do feel like it's tonally very confusing. Like it's really like it's a cool film for a lot of the time. It's like genuinely very cool, and
mm,
all the things we talked about, the costumes and the line delivery and the acting and the dialogue is really, really cool. But then you do have
mm.
those goofy sound effects
Yeah,
that
it's
undermine it quite a
strange.
lot. And
Hmm.
the studio wanted to put more of those sound effects in as
Whoa.
like a guide for the audience to be like, it's
Yeah.
okay, we're just having a laugh.
Mm,
And I felt like
yeah.
some of the choices with the performances could have been reined in a little bit. Like I love, love, love Julie Benz, but I
Mm,
felt like she was in a different film. She was very
Yes.
goofy. She kept sticking her tongue out and being sort of
Hmm.
like kooky and sort of odd, and it didn't really
mm,
vibe with what she was supposed to be in the grand scheme of the high school society.
mm.
And the same with the jock, like sticking his tongue out, and he's like, I don't know that she would like that. I don't know that Courtney would actually enjoy that.
Yeah.
But then maybe that's
Yeah.
why she decides to slightly degrade him sexually by making him
Mm.
give the popsicle.
Mhm.
Oh, yeah.
The big stick.
The big stick.
I was watching that scene and I was like, I don't know what's going on. Well, obviously I know what's going on, but
I
I'm
knew what
not
was going
I'm
on.
not sure like why do we need this
Yeah.
scene? Like
I kind of loved it. I mean, I loved it for many reasons.
Right, of course.
Yeah. But I just loved it as this really, she's so subversive. And
Mhm.
yeah.
she's taking the power
Powerful.
back.
Yeah,
Right,
yeah.
Yeah, she's
absolutely.
like, you
Yeah.
think you're hot shit because you're like a jock in high school, but
Yeah,
I can
that's
make you do
true.
things and show you
Hmm.
how powerless you really are.
Yeah. Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, like she's a sociopath, but she's doing a lot of cool stuff.
I mean, it's kind of hot, right? You know, so
It's hot as hell.
yeah.
Teenage me was like, what?
Wow.
I'm gonna go shop, get some lollipops. Oh dear. But yeah, I guess as well, like it's like if you think of Heathers, so obviously, they use the drain cleaner or whatever to kill one of the Heathers. But in this one, yeah, it's an accident. But then the way that they try and set up that it's like this sexual perversion thing. I mean, I won't go fully into it, obviously, but it's quite a dark, like really
It's so
dark.
dark.
Mhm.
Who thinks of let's do this and then even like the scene where Rose is, having sex on the bed with the body underneath it. Like, who thinks of this stuff?
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh. So I do think maybe like that didn't maybe go down too well, as you say, with the films that were out or
Mm,
happy-go-lucky kind of films. That was pretty dark, really. And I was
super
a bit like,
dark.
whoo, yeah, very dark.
Mm.
Matthew said, with social media, the film would have been an absolute bloodbath. It wouldn't have been a comedy. It would have been a horror film if made today. Yeah, that's true.
Hmm.
Matthew said, I love watching these films and not seeing anybody with a damn smartphone. Yeah,
Yeah.
I
Yes.
like
Yes.
technology, but it's always astounds me that we lived in that world once upon a time. It was fresher then. I think
Hmm.
I agree with that. I'm much enjoying watching some of the older films where there's just no technology and things like that. It's just, yeah, more analog,
Hmm.
definitely. Sharon said, absolutely. Melina said, yeah, agree, Matthew. Um, Matthew said, we need to do American Pie. It's one of my guilty pleasures. It's so lowbrow and locker room, but it's gut splittingly hilarious. It is
Yeah.
funny, definitely. Sharon said, Jawbreaker got a bit off track for her. There are moments of absolute gold, but then there is a lot of nonsense. I mean, it's
Hmm.
not up there with the Heathers,
No.
No.
really,
No.
or like the
Mm-mm.
Mean Girls. Definitely not. Lana said the handling of the abuse setup of the dead body was off for me, not funny. That's what I mean. That's where I
Mm.
think it didn't quite hit the mark, and
Hmm.
maybe that's why it didn't do too good as well, because it was just so. I was just like, I think I just sat there like, I don't know what to
Yeah.
make of that, but yeah. So did you have a favourite scene or moment in the film, Josh?
It's got to be the big stick scene.
I knew
What
you was going
else?
to say
What else could it be? Yeah.
that.
It's
We
just
all
brilliant.
know
I
what
love it.
Josh likes. Oh dear, I love that. I bet you know.
Hot over here.
How about you, Jesse? Don't say the big stick scene at
No, no,
that.
no. The transformation scene is so wild
Mm,
and off the wall and so out of place with the rest of the film.
yeah.
Um, I also love the ending. I mean, I don't want to cut all the way to the ending, but it's very Carrie to me.
Yeah.
And she's
That
like,
ending,
Yeah.
just, being pelted with the flowers and just her hair has completely come undone and she does something with the eye makeup is bleeding, but she does something where she's almost clawing
Like
at her
clawing,
eyeballs.
yeah.
Yeah, yeah. So it's
Mm,
but again, that transformation scene, I need to go back and rewatch just that part because there are so many cuts and there are so many weird things happening. It's kind of disassociates itself from the rest of the film. It's this sort of weird fantasy sequence
yeah.
but it's
Yeah.
brilliant. It's absolutely brilliant.
Yeah, I agree. Like to me, one of the favourite scenes was the ending, that whole
Mm.
prom scene, and it really reminded me. There's a point horror book called Prom Date by Dan
Hmm.
Ho, and not to spoil anything if anyone hasn't read it, but the ending in that it just reminded me of this, like just the character coming in and just being like totally, lost it basically. And I could just imagine that playing out exactly like it played out in Jawbreaker. So I thought
Mm.
that was pretty cool. And it did feel a little bit point horror-ish, that ending as well. And so that was my favourite scene, I think,
Yeah.
definitely. And the way Rose McGowan plays it. And even like Rebecca Gayheart when she's just like, and it's all in like
Hmm.
slow mo. Oh, it's just, yeah, it was so good. But did
Yeah.
feel a little bit disconnected from the rest of the
It
film, a
did,
little
yeah.
bit, definitely.
And it kind of didn't make, yeah, like my partner pointed out that is it Zach, the guy who Rebecca Gayheart starts to date?
Hmm.
It would
Yeah.
have made more sense if he was like in AV Club rather than the theatre, because
Hmm.
then we'd know
Mm,
why he could do all that tech stuff
yeah,
with the
that's
card.
true.
Is a bit random.
Very random.
Yeah.
And
I
I
did
all
love that Rebecca
gone,
Gayheart was like, or what's her name, Julie,
Julie.
and
Hmm.
she's just like eat shit because it's like
Yeah.
Yes, yes.
she may be like reformed good girl now, but she's still got an inner steel to
Hmm.
her.
Mm,
Oh yeah.
She could be the next
yeah.
queen bee for sure.
Yeah.
Hmm.
And I also, one of the scenes I did like was with Violet, where obviously she's pretty clued up. Like, she doesn't just want to be like, popular and feared by just everyone. She gets herself in to be liked with the drama club or liked with certain people. And so she had potential then to be obviously bigger than Courtney. And I loved all those scenes where she was just like infiltrating
Hmm.
or whatever it is, in with all like these different clubs and stuff, and I was like, yeah,
Yeah.
go girl. Loved it. And there's obviously, as we mentioned, so many iconic lines and dialogue, snappy one liners, and it's just sarcastic and deadpan. So did you have like a favourite piece of dialogue or a line that you liked, Jesse?
I think it's I'm gonna get it wrong because I always get it wrong. Oh, live it, love it, learn it. Live
Oh,
it,
Yeah.
love
live
it,
it,
learn it.
love it,
Yes.
learn
Yeah,
it.
yes. Yes.
Love
Yes. Yeah.
it.
I think it's one of my personal favorites. Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's not necessarily the lines themselves, it's the line delivery from the
Mm,
actresses and
Exactly.
specifically Rose McGowan.
yeah.
Everything is peachy fucking keen. So
Yeah.
Oh, how about you, Josh?
I read that she didn't want to say the line uh something about dying. Isn't the bit where they're in the hall and it's the three of them and she's I can't remember.
Oh,
There's a bit of
yeah.
the bit of
Oh,
dialogue in there that
life is a bitch and then you die, which is
exactly,
just a
yeah.
Yeah.
colloquialism or just one of those, mottos that has been around for years and years. Yeah.
Yeah, and I
Mm,
read that she thought it was too corny, so she didn't want to say it. So she
Yeah.
delivered it really in like a really underwhelming, understated way because she figured it would get cut out if she delivers it really badly. But because it's like a one shot and it's got all the characters in that one shot, they couldn't cut it out. But
oh,
Yeah.
weirdly, it actually does really work because it's
It
like
did.
suited the
Hmm.
that's the
character, yeah.
sociopath speaking.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, definitely. Did you have a favourite line, Josh? Or was
I
that your
do.
favourite line? Oh, go on.
Uh, I killed Liz. I killed the teen dream. Deal with it.
Oh, so good.
Yes.
Yeah.
So good. Love that one. I've got when Fern, when she's actually Fern, says she's so evil and she's only in high school.
Yeah, I like that one.
I love
Yeah.
that. Obviously, Courtney saying, "I made you, and I can break you just as easily." I really liked that,
Yeah.
and the way that that's delivered as well was just brilliant. Um, and I also liked the bit where I think it's the scene where Courtney is changing Fern's name. So she says something like, "A fern is a plant, right? Well, I don't know about you, but I'd much rather be a flower. A rose is too obvious. Never
Yeah.
send a rose unless dyed black as a warning." And obviously, it's ironic because Courtney is really called Rose in real life. But I was like,
Yeah.
Yeah. I
ah.
love it.
And then I think she goes on to say, "Never send a rose unless dyed black as a warning. And if one is sent to you, destroy it along with the sender. Emotionally, of course. It's not like we kill people." And then I think but they all look at her weirdly and she goes, "On purpose." Oh, loved it. So obviously we've mentioned about the ending, and it's obviously strongly implied that Courtney is arrested and maybe imprisoned for Lizzie's
Hmm.
death. But what do you think really happened to Courtney after the cameras stopped rolling? Did she go to prison or did she get out of it, Josh?
She is so living her dream life as like an Instagram fashion guru. Like, yeah, I
Yeah,
think
Yeah.
she's like doing the Romeo and Michelle thing,
Hmm.
wearing all her
yeah.
outfits. Maybe she's like a life coach, you
Oh,
know. Yeah, I think she's
live
probably
life, love. Or
she's living
whatever.
life and loving it. Yeah.
Oh, love that. How about you, Jessie? What do you think happened? Did she pay
I
for her crime?
I think she lawyered up and kind of got off on maybe like involuntary manslaughter charges, but the other two would have been implicated as well. So they would have
Mm,
brought the other two in for questioning. But yeah, I think she probably for the most part got away with it. I think, the her
mm,
family has money and, probably lawyered up and were able to get
yeah,
the, accidental death or something like that.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
unfortunately, I think that she would have got away with it.
Hmm.
Um, and yeah, so she'd be out there living her best life on Instagram, like you say,
Yeah.
Josh.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, she would
I
have.
read that Rose McGowan had an idea for a sequel, like a many years later sequel,
Oh,
and she said that it involved a mental asylum. Don't know
oh,
how. And then she said it would also be that these the women are now like Orange County women, like living in their mansions
Oh,
and
like Real
oh,
Housewives.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, like now all their kids go to school together.
Hmm.
oh!
That'd
I
be
think
pretty cool.
actually
Yeah.
that would, I
Yeah.
would,
I like
yeah,
that.
I'd watch
It'd be like
that.
I imagine it like 102 Dalmatians. Like Courtney comes out of incarceration, like I'm fixed, I'm better, darling, and then she starts like ramming jawbreakers in people's
Uh,
heads.
Oh yeah. Oh, I love that.
oh,
They've got to
that's
do
too
that.
funny.
I thought I did read that they did try and make this into a musical
Hmm.
as
Yeah,
well at
Yes.
some point,
Yes.
which would be interesting.
Hmm.
Like,
yeah. And they were going to do a remake as well.
oh,
Darren Stein was going to do a remake, and he said that I think he's talking about the remake version. Fern is trans in the film.
Oh.
oh,
He said that, like he says here, so many queer and trans people over the years have sent me messages saying how meaningful the film has been to them, and how Fern has echoed their own trans journeys. So
Hmm.
oh. That's
yeah, that would be interesting to
lovely.
see.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, oh, yeah. I'd be interested in that as well,
Yeah.
definitely. And Matthew said it felt like they let the movie go along at one pace and then sped it all up and wrapped it all
Hmm.
up in about 15
Yes.
to 20 minutes. That
Mm.
left some questions. Yeah,
Hmm.
definitely. Melina says, as someone who suffered those mean popular girls at secondary school, there was such a sense of closure when Rosie's character got her comeuppance. Yeah. It was definitely a like, yeah moment when that happened.
Yeah. Very similar to Sarah Michelle Gellar and Cruel Intentions.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Oh,
Where
that
she's like
ending.
publicly,
So,
Yes. Oh
so
publicly
good.
yes.
shamed.
Oh, so good. Matthew said, I can imagine most of my friends were girls back in high school, but not these kinds of girls. I didn't know they existed back then. Now, of course, we know it's been an epidemic for years. Oh,
Mhm.
yeah. There was always girls at my school. There was a big group of girls like this.
Mm.
Definitely. And I just hid away in the music and drama rooms as much as I could. Like, that got me through. Sharon said, I think she got life and is now queen bee of the prison.
Yes.
Definitely. Matthew said her defence lawyer delivered the affluenza defence. It works here in the US, sadly. Oh, I don't know what that
I
is.
don't know. Yeah.
Oh,
No.
okay. I'll have to look that up.
Yeah.
Oh, so obviously the film, just a couple more questions. So the film obviously clearly draws inspiration from Carrie, Heathers, film like John Hughes films. So
Hmm.
did you spot any other influences or have you got any other similar film recommendations, Jesse?
This is, said this to my partner last night. This is you take Heathers, Carrie, Grease, Clueless, and maybe a little bit, a dash of John Waters and throw it in a blender. And
Yeah.
this is the output. I mean, this is Heathers, but there's also the nods to Grease and Carrie and the homage to casting 30-year-olds
Mm,
as teenagers. I mean, they've been doing it for decades, right?
yeah.
Um, but yeah, and and clearly influenced Mean Girls a little bit too. So,
Mm,
but again, I think the big takeaway from someone commented earlier, this would be a good pairing with Heathers, and I
yeah.
absolutely agree. Yeah.
Yeah. Definitely. Definitely. How about you, Josh? Did
Yeah, I
you
agree
notice
with all of
anything?
those. But
Yeah.
I think the film shares a producer with The Craft,
Yeah. Okay.
which I can totally
Oh.
see, like
Mm-hmm.
Feruza
Mm.
Balk's Nancy would be best friends, or like mortal enemies, I suppose, more so with
Yeah.
Courtney. I think they're of like the same breed, I would say.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. And
Mm.
I would say, like, I think you mentioned it earlier, Josh, and I think actually you gave me a recommendation to watch it, but Drop Dead Gorgeous, I think it
Yes,
Yes.
was.
Yes.
it's
So,
so
so,
good.
so good. Like, just such a dry, deadpan
Mm-hmm.
sense of humour kind of film, but just
So
hilarious.
un-PC. One of the
And
most
Yes.
Denise
un-PC films I've
Richards,
ever seen.
Mm-hmm.
yeah, Denise
Yes.
Richards is oh, so
Yes.
good.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and I think actually I
Brittany
think it was
Murphy,
yeah, Brittany
Mm-hmm.
Amy
Murphy.
Adams. It's a
Mm-hmm.
crazy cast.
Yeah,
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 it's a
so
great
so good.
cast. Also,
Yeah.
what's there were some weird female centric movies that came out around the same time. There's the cheerleaders, was it Sugar and Spice? That's a
Oh,
deep
Sugar
cut
and
too.
Spice.
Yeah,
Yeah.
were there bank robbers or something? Yeah,
Yeah, I think I
I
remember that.
yeah, again, there's some sort of these weird female centric films that have become cult classics from the
Mm,
late 90s, early 2000s, and yeah, Drop Dead Gorgeous for sure, and Jawbreaker, absolutely.
yeah,
Did
definitely.
Dick come out that year as well? The Michelle Williams.
Yeah, that
Did
was
what? What?
98 or
Uh,
99. Oh, that is,
yeah,
oh, Kirsten Dunst and Michelle Williams in
it's
the
so good.
70s.
What did
And
you
they're,
say,
yeah,
Josh?
yeah, Dick.
Dick.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
It's about
Richard,
Nixon.
yeah, Nixon and Watergate. It's
Oh,
another weird,
I'm glad you
campy,
clarified.
yeah.
Yeah, they do play on that a lot.
They do, yeah, yeah. But
Oh.
again, would any of these movies get made today? It was a very weird time. I think a lot of
Mm.
stuff was getting greenlit and produced
Yeah,
Yeah.
for very little money too, but very
Oh.
cheaply made films at the time.
it
I've
must have
never
been
never
because of
heard of
like the
that.
TV boom, like Dawson's
Mm.
Creek and
Hmm.
Party of Five,
Yeah.
Buffy. Obviously, like all the teen stuff on TV was massive. So
Mm.
I bet the
Hmm.
movie people were like, ha ha ha, okay,
Try and cash in on that.
yeah.
Right. Yeah.
Ah. No, I've never heard of Dick.
Dick, that would be a good movie club chat.
That's a
Oh.
hard recommend, Shannon.
Yeah.
Excuse you.
Yeah.
I'm too scared to Google it and can't see what comes up. Might be Josh with his like lollipop stick or something.
Yeah.
Oh dear. I just saw Matthew said So this affluenza defence, a lawyer used that his client was a victim of his family's affluence and got the kid off a few years ago. Oh, interesting. Okay. Sharon said, "Do not Google." Oh, you know I'm going to do it, don't you?
Yeah, Dick. Yeah, Google Dick movie and see what comes up.
Careful watching Dick. Melina said, "I now need a Heathers rewatch." Melina's sensible. See. Yeah. So finally, then, what important life lesson have we learned from watching Jawbreaker, if any? Josh?
Don't eat sweets.
Very good. How about you, Jesse? What important life lesson?
Choose your friends wisely.
Yeah.
And also the high school makeover is never going to work in your favor.
That's so true. It is. My life lesson is hide in those music and drama rooms.
Yeah.
Don't come out.
Yeah.
And learn to lick.
Yeah.
And on that note, thank you guys.
Thanks, Shelley.
It's been really fun. I knew we'd have a giggle talking about this, and yeah, it was interesting. I'm glad I watched it. I don't think I'd rush to watch it again. Like, you know, much prefer like the Heathers or the Mean Girls. But you know, yeah, it was good, and I'm glad I met Courtney. I feel like my life is changed.
I feel like the first half of the film could be one of my favourite films ever. And then the second half of the film is like, which is a shame.
Yeah, it's a shame. Sharon's just put, she's learnt, keep your mouth shut when you sleep. Oh, I'd have no hope. I'm like, drooling on my pillow. Like, it's really not pleasant. Oh dear. Oh, so funny. But yeah, thanks guys. And Josh has got a new book coming out, so do check that out. When's it out? Is it May? No?
September.
September?
August in the US, September in the UK.
Oh, I keep getting confused. Okay. I've got that many pre-orders on pre-order at the moment that I'm like, I'm getting lost. But in the meantime, you can read all of Josh's backlist.
Thank you.
So good, so good. And do check out Jessie's brilliant Instagram and just Jessie in general, because we love Jessie. We love chatting with Jessie and getting book recommendations and being broke.
Yay.
Oh, thanks to everyone in the chat as well. What's Matthew put? Now I've got a podcast with Rose to listen to. Definitely listen to Rose's podcast. I'll try and put a link up to it in my story, so everyone's got a link. All right then, guys, thank you very much.
Thank you. Always a pleasure.
Thanks, guys. And go and get them lollipops. Yum yum yum. Chobble chobble. Gobble gobble. See you later. Bye.
Bye.